Good evening and welcome to This Week in Politics. I'm Alaina Jonathan.
And I'm Lexie Cutmore. In this edition of This Week in Politics, we're going to be going over the impeachment process of the 45th President, Donald Trump.
What you need to know, what you might not understand, and what may be to come. Along with the impeachment, we're going to be talking about some national and local state legislation that you may have missed. Let's get it started. Governor Andrew Cuomo and his administration say that businesses and jobs are returning to upstate New York. But according to the Rockefeller Institute, the main challenge for rural areas is keeping people from moving to bigger cities. Communities in upstate New York have seen their population decline over the decades, with larger generations moving farther away. New York City has seen a population rise over the last few decades, with growth in population and economy. Business Council Vice President Ken Pulowski says the trend is happening nationwide and that it's up to state lawmakers to find a solution.
If you're under the age of 21 and smoke tobacco or nicotine products, you may be in for a shock. On Wednesday, the legal age to purchase tobacco products changed from 18 to 21. Legislators say this change could help curb teen consumption of tobacco. The bill passed in July, but didn't go into effect until 120 days later to allow retailers and the general public time to adjust. Governor Cuomo signed this law into effect in July, and many other states are not too far behind New York. States like New Jersey and Massachusetts have also raised their age in efforts to combat the epidemic. At the federal level, State Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announced his plans to raise the age to 21 due to the recent spikes in teen vaping. This comes after young adults all over the country are being hospitalized for unknown lung illnesses. This story is developing, and we'll bring you more as we know.
3 students in Orleans County are in custody after planning a school shooting. A threat was made online toward another student who attends Albion Middle School. On November 1st, the threat was determined credible by law enforcement, and an investigation began. An unspecified number of guns in the students' homes led police to believe that this plot would be carried out. The students' plan was to enter the school with explosive and incendiary devices to kill and injure students and staff. William Duffy, a spokesperson for the New York State Police, said this is an unusual and uncommon event because it was planned among 3 people instead of just 1. The student's punishment ranges from serving time under the county parole or even serving time in a juvenile detention center. So, Lexie, I think we're straying away from what we usually do here at This Week in Politics. And I guess, do you want to just give them a little feel about why we're doing this?
So when we were going over the way that we usually do This Week in Politics, it's very straightforward. We give you the story, but this time we sort of decided that the impeachment process itself is very difficult. There's a lot to break down, so it will be much more conversational, and the two of us are just kind of going to go over what's been happening lately.
Right. We want to let you guys know what we know.
Right. So, I mean, to start off, as we've gone over in This Week in Politics in the past, the whistleblower complaint was filed back in August 12th regarding President Trump's relationships and communications with the Ukraine president. So now we're looking at the impeachment inquiries that were filed by the Democratic Party.
Right.
Namely, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, has been backing it the entire time.
Right.
So do you want to talk a little bit about the accusations against the president?
So basically what happened was that there was a phone call to the president of Ukraine and between President Donald Trump. And basically what was said was a quid pro quo. And what that means is if I give you something, you give me something. Basically what Donald Trump is accused of was that he wanted the Ukraine president to help with information regarding Joe Biden and Joe Biden's son. Because of the upcoming election, Joe Biden is the leading Democrat majority, and he's going to be probably the one up against Donald Trump. And in return for the information on the Bidens, he was going to give aid to Ukraine.
Correct. Mostly in regards to military-related issues, which opening this investigation, a lot of people in the House are saying that this is an issue of national security on the part of the United States, and that's namely where the impeachment process, why they started this to begin with. And as you know, yesterday, which is the 13th of November, was the first day of the impeachment process, impeachment inquiry process, and there they had I'm blanking on his name at the time,
Adam
the
Schiff.
advisor, Ambassador William Taylor and George Kent were there to address the issues that have been going on lately. And during that time, both of them stated that they had advised the president not to speak with the president of Ukraine. And President Trump has since spoken on this issue and claimed that he did not recall having a phone call with the president of Ukraine, which is going in direct conflict with everything that's been said by everyone involved as of right now. As far as the impeachment process goes, do you want to talk about what could be ahead in the future? I think there is some miscommunication about what it means to go through an impeachment process, what that could entail for President Trump if this, something unpredictable comes to fruition.
Right. So I guess we'll just start by giving you guys, the definition of impeachment. So it's defined as the formal process by which a sitting president of the United States may be accused of a wrongdoing. It is a political process and not a criminal process, which I think we both want to stress is that Donald Trump, at the end of this, if he gets impeached, does not necessarily mean he's going to jail. The impeachment process doesn't mean jail time unless a crime is committed, which right now they're saying the crime is extortion and bribery.
Right.
They're accusing him of extortion and bribery. So if he were to get impeached, he would be removed as the sitting president and Mike Pence would become the acting president. Say this happened tomorrow, in the next 11 months, Mike Pence would be the president until re-election. A lot of things could change as the impeachment goes on. We haven't even gone to trial yet. Right now, this is just the general hearings. They're putting the facts out. They have their witnesses. Right now, they're just considering, is this credible enough to take to trial? Right. So,
as of right now, Ambassador William Taylor and Mr. George Kent have offered little to no information from what they've given in the past. They've stayed consistent with their previous statements involving what they're calling a campaign smear towards American officials on Trump's part, which, of course, as we know, is supposedly spearheaded by Rudy Giuliani, who is Trump's personal lawyer. And I don't know in the future if Rudy Giuliani will go into the hearing at any point to speak on Trump's behalf, because as of right now, those who have spoken on Trump's behalf have not officially met with the president, which a lot of people in the House are finding to be a conflict of interest at this time, just to attempt to find someone who knows a bit more on the inside.
Right. It is kind of different in this case where there's two star witnesses that should have the most knowledge, but as of right now, they haven't even communicated with the president, which is a little bizarre. In the future, if this does go to trial, absolutely expect to see Donald Trump in trial, expect to see his lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, on trial, expect to see, I would even say, Joe Biden.
I feel like that's tough because it depends on what comes out in the hearings right now. There's a lot that we don't know. There is another hearing tomorrow, the 15th of November, and a witness claims to know more about the phone call that has come about in the past regarding President Trump and the president of Ukraine. And this witness is saying that they have information that has yet to come to fruition. So depending on what's said tomorrow could change absolutely everything or nothing.
Absolutely. I think this is something that everyone should be following, no matter your age, no matter your political affiliation. This is, a very big thing happening in our history right now and could really change the course of not just this election, but how people and presidents in the future communicate with other world leaders. This is a big determiner.
And as Alaina said, regardless of your political affiliation, it is important to keep in mind that the elections are coming up within the next year. And, just following things like this to keep you informed on what's going on, especially on the inside, it's just important to know what our politicians are doing.
To stay informed is obviously the most important thing. It's something that we stress to everybody we meet, and we stress to the people watching right now, be informed. You want to know what's going on in your politics, in your history, everything.
Right.
But we're definitely going to keep up on this. We're definitely going to see
Definitely.
where this goes. We plan on keeping this until this resolves or doesn't resolve. This is going to be our new thing until the impeachment is over.
Right, and like I said, there is a hearing tomorrow, November 15th, and then one coming up sometime next week. So following next week, we'll have updates then.
A lot more updates, but
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for watching. That's all we have for now. I'm Lexie Cutmore.
And I'm Alaina Jonathan.
We'll see you next time.